You do not meet a man but frowns. Our bloods no more obey the heavens than our courtiers still seem as does the king.
But what's the matter?
His daughter, and heir to his kingdom, whom he hath purposed to his wife's sole son, a widow that late he married, hath referred herself unto a poor but worthy gentleman. She is wedded, her husband banished, she imprisoned, and all is outward sorrow. Though I think the king be touched at very heart.
None but the king.
He that hath lost her too. So is the queen that most desired the match, but not a courtier. Although they wear their faces to the bent of the king's looks, hath a heart that is not glad of the thing they scowl at.
And why so?
He that hath missed the princess is a thing too bad for bad report. And he that hath her, alack, good man, and therefore banished, is a creature such as to seek through the regions of the earth for one his like. There should be something failing in him that should compare. I do not think so fair an outward, or such stuff within, endows a man but he.
You speak him far.
I do extend him, sir, within himself, crush him together, rather than unfold his measure duly.
Well, what's his name and birth?
I cannot delve him to the root. His father was called Cecilius, who did join his arm against the Romans with Cymbeline, whom he served with glory and admired success. So gained the son addition, Leonatus, but his gentle lady, big of this gentleman our theme, deceased as he was born. The king, he takes the babe to his protection, calls him posthumous Leonatus, breeds him and makes him of his bedchamber, puts to him all the learnings that his time can make him the receiver of, which he took, fast as 'twas ministered, and lived in the court, which rare is to do, most praised, most loved, a sample to the youngest, to the graver, a child that guided dotards. To his mistress, for whom he now is banished, her own price proclaims how she esteemed a man his virtue. By her election may be truly read what kind of man he is.
I honor him even out of your report. But pray you tell me, is she sole child to the king?
His only child. He had 2 sons. If this be what your hearing market, the eldest of them at 3 years old, in the swathing clothes the other from their nurseries were stolen, and to this hour no guess and knowledge which way they went.
But how long is this ago?
Oh, some 16 years.
That a king's children should be so conveyed, so slackly guarded, and the search so slow that could not trace them.
Howsoe'er 'tis strange, or that the negligence may well be laughed at, yet it is true, sir.
I do well believe you.
Oh, we must forbear. Here comes the queen, the gentleman, and princess.
No, be assured you shall not find me, daughter, after the slander of most stepmothers, evil-eyed unto you. You're my prisoner, but your jailer shall deliver you the keys that lock up your restraint. For you, Posthumus, so soon as I can win the offended king, I will be known your advocate. Marry, yet the fire of rage is in him, and 'twere good you leaned unto his sentence with what patience your wisdom may inform you.
Please, your highness, I will from hence today.
You know the Pharaoh. I'll fetch a turn about the garden, pitying the pangs of barred affections, though the king hath charged you should not speak together.
Oh, dissembling courtesy! How fine this tyrant can tickle where she wounds! My dearest husband, I something fear my father's wrath, but nothing always reserve my holy duty what his rage can do on me. You must be gone, and I shall here abide the hourly shot of angry eyes, not comforted to live, but that there is this jewel in the world that I may see again.
My queen, my mistress. O lady, weep no more, lest I give cause to be suspected of more tenderness than doth become a man. I will remain the loyalest husband that did e'er plight troth. My residence in Rome at one Belarius, who to my father was a friend, to me known but by letter. Thither write, my queen, and with mine eyes I'll drink the words you send, though ink be made of gall.
Be brief, I pray you. If the king come, I shall incur I know not how much of his displeasure. Yet I'll move him to walk this way. I never do him wrong, but he does buy my injuries. To be friends pays dear for my offences.
should we be taking leave as long a term as yet we have to live, the loathness to depart would grow. Adieu.
Nay, stay a little. Were you but riding forth to air yourself, such parting were too petty. Look here, love. This diamond was my mother's. Take it, heart, and keep it till you woo another wife when Imogen is dead.
How? Another? You gentle gods, give me but this I have, and sear up my embracements from a next with bonds of death. Remain thou here, while sense can keep it on. And sweetest, fairest, as I my poor self did exchange for you to your so infinite loss, so in our trifles I still win of you. For my sake, wear this. It is a manacle of love. I'll place it upon this fairest prisoner.
Oh, the gods! When shall we see again?
Alack, the king.
Thou basest thing, avoid! Hence from my sight! If after this command thou fraught the court with thy unworthiness, thou diest! Away, thou art poison to my blood!
The gods protect you, and bless the good remainders of the court. I am gone.
There cannot be a pinch in death more sharp than this is.
Disloyal thing, that shouldst repair my youth, thou heapst a year's age on me.
I beseech you, sir, harm not yourself with your vexation. I am senseless of your wrath. A touch more rare subdues all pangs, all fears.
Past grace, obedience,
Past hope, and in despair that way past grace.
that mightst have had the sole son of my queen.
Oh, blessed that I might not. I chose an eagle and did avoid a putter.
Thou tookst a beggar, wouldst have made my throne a seat for baseness.
No, I rather added the luster to
Oh,
it.
thou vile one!
Sir, it is your fault I have loved Posthumus. You bred him as my playfellow. He is a man worth any woman. Overbuys me almost the sum he pays.
Art thou mad?
Almost, sir, heaven restore me. Would I were a neatherd's daughter, and my Leonatus our neighbour
Thou
shepherd's son.
foolish thing. They were again together. You have done naught after our command. Away with her and pen her up.
Beseech your patience. Peace, dear lady daughter, peace. Sweet sovereign, leave us to ourselves, and make yourself some comfort out of your best advice.
Nay, let her languish a drop of blood a day, and being aged die of this folly.
Fie, you must give way. Here is your servant. How now, sir? What news?
My lord, your son drew on my master.
No harm, I trust is done.
There might have been, but that my master rather played than fought, and had no help of anger. They were parted by gentlemen at hand.
I am very glad on it.
Your son's my father's friend. He takes his part. You draw upon an exile. Oh, brave sir. I would they were an effort both together, myself by with a needle, that I might prick the goer back. Why came you from your master?
On his command. He would not suffer me to bring him to the haven. Left these notes of what commands I should be subject to when it pleased you to employ me.
This hath been your faithful servant. I dare lay mine honour he will remain so.
I humbly thank your highness.
Pray walk a while.
About some half hour hence, I pray you speak with me. You shall at least go see my lord aboard. For this time leave me.
Sir, I would advise you to shift to shirt. The violence of action hath made you reek as a sacrifice. Where air comes out, air comes in. There's none abroad so wholesome as that you vent.
If my shirt were bloody, then to shift it. Have I hurt you?
No, faith, not so much as his patience.
Hurt him! His body's a passable carcass if he be not hurt. It is a true fare for steel if he be not hurt.
The villain would not stand me.
No, but he fled forward still towards your face.
Stand you! You have land enough of your own, but he added to your having, gave you some ground.
As many inches as there are oceans. Puppies.
I would they had not come between us.
So would I, until you had measured how long a fool you were upon the ground.
And that she should love this fellow and refuse me.
If it be a sin to make a true election, she is damned.
Sir, as I have told you always, her beauty and her brains go not together. She's a good sign, but I have seen small reflection of her wit.
No, she shines not upon fools, lest the reflection should hurt her.
Come, I'll to my chamber. Would there had been some hurt done?
Oh, I wish not so, unless it had been the fall of an ass, which is no great hurt.
Oh, come, you go with us.
I'll attend your lord.
Nay, come. Let's go together.
Well, my lord.
I would thou bruise him to the shores of the haven and questions every sail. If he should write and I not have it, 'twere a paper lost as offered mercy is. What was the last he spake to thee?
It was his queen, his queen.
Then waved his handkerchief.
And kissed it, madam.
Senseless linen, happier therein than I. And that was all?
No, madam. For so long as he could make me with this eye or ear distinguish him from others, he kept the deck, with glove or hat or handkerchief still waving, as the fits and stirs of his mind could best express how slow his soul sailed on, how swift his ship.
Thou shouldst have made him as little as a crow, or less, ere left to after-eye him.
Madam, so I did.
I would have broke mine eye strings, cracked them, but to look upon him till the diminution of space had pointed him sharp as my needle, nay, followed him till he had melted from the smallness of a gnat to air, and then have turned mine eye and wept. But, good Pisanio, when shall we hear from him?
Be assured, madam, with his next vantage.
I did not take my leave of him, but had most pretty things to say. Ere I could tell him how I would think on him at certain hours, such thoughts and such, or could have made him swear the she's of Italy should not betray mine interest and his honor, or have charged him at the 6th hour of morn, at noon, at midnight, to encounter me with orisons, for then I am in heaven for him. Or ere I could give him that parting kiss, which I had set betwixt two charming words, comes in my father, and like the tyrannous breathing of the north, shakes all our buds from growing.
The queen, madam, desires your highness' company.
Those things I bid you do, get them dispatched. I will attend the queen.
Madam, I shall.
Britain. He was then of a crescent note, expected to prove so worthy as since he hath been allowed the name of. But I could then have looked on him without the help of admiration, though the catalogue of his endowments had been tabled by his side, and I to peruse him by items.
You speak of him when he was less furnished than he is now, with that which makes him both without and within.
I have seen him in France. We had very many there could behold the son with as firm eyes as he.
This matter of marrying his king's daughter, wherein he must be weighed rather by her value than his own, words him, I doubt not, a great deal from the matter.
And then his banishment.
I and the approbation of those that weep this lamentable divorce under her colours are wonderfully to extend him, be it but to fortify her judgment, which else an easy battery might lay flat, for taking a beggar without less quality. But how comes it he is to sojourn with you? How creeps acquaintance?
His father and I were soldiers together, to whom I have been often bound for no less than my life. Oh, here comes the Briton. Let him be so entertained amongst you as suits with gentlemen of your knowing to a stranger of his quality. I beseech you all, be better known to this gentleman, whom I commend to you as a noble friend of mine. How worthy he is, I will let appear in the hereafter, rather than store him in his own hearing.
Sir, we have known together in Orleans.
Since when I have been debtor to you, for courtesies which I will be ever to pay, and yet pay still.
Sir, you overrate my poor kindness. I was glad I did atone my countrymen anew. It had been pity you should have been put together with so mortal a purpose as then each bore, upon importance of so slight and trivial a nature.
By your pardon, sir. I was then a young traveller, rather shunned to be guided by others' experiences. But upon my mended judgment, if I offend not to say it is mended, my quarrel was not altogether slight.
Fate, yes, to be put to the arbitrament of swords, and by such too that would by all likelihood have confounded one the other, or have fallen both.
Can we with manners ask what was the difference?
Safely, I think. 'Twas a contention in public, which may suffer the report. It was much like an argument that fell out last night, where each of us fell in praise of our country's mistresses. This gentleman at that time vouching, and upon warrant of bloody affirmation, his to be more fair, virtuous, wise, chaste, constant, qualified, and less attemptable than any the rarest of our ladies in France.
That lady is not now living, for this gentleman's opinion, by this worn out.
She holds her virtue still, and I my mind.
You must not so far prefer her for ours of Italy.
Being so far provoked as I was in France, I would abate her nothing.
If she went before others, I have seen. As that diamond of yours outlusters many I have beheld, I could not but believe she excelled many. But I have not seen the most precious diamond that is, nor you the lady.
I praised her as I rated her. So do I my stone.
What do you esteem it at?
More than the world enjoys.
You may wear her and title yours, but you know, strange foul light on neighboring ponds. Your ring may be stolen too. So your brace of unprizable estimations, the one is but frail, the other casual. A cunning thief, or a that way accomplished courtier, would hazard the winning both of first and last.
Your Italy contains none so accomplished a courtier to convince the honor of my mistress. I do nothing doubt you have store of thieves. Notwithstanding, I fear not my ring.
Let us leave here, gentlemen.
Sir, with all my heart. This worthy signor, I thank him, makes no stranger of me. We are familiar at first.
With 5 times so much conversation, I should get ground of your fair mistress. Make her go back even to the yielding, had I admittance and opportunity to friend.
No, no.
I dare thereupon pawn the moiety of my estate to your ring, which in my opinion o'ervalues it something. But I make the wager rather against your confidence than her reputation. And, to bar your offence herein too, I durst attempt it against any lady in the world.
You are a great deal abused in too bold a persuasion, and I doubt not you sustain what you are worthy of by your attempt.
What's that?
What a pulse! Though your attempt, as you call it, deserve more. A punishment too.
Gentlemen, enough of this. It came in too suddenly. Let it die as it was born. And I pray you, be better acquainted.
Would I had put my estate and my neighbours on the approbation of what I have spoke.
What lady would you choose to assail?
Yours, whom in constancy you think stands so safe. I will lay you 10,000 ducats to your ring, that commend me to the court where your lady is, with no more advantage than the opportunity of a second conference, and I will bring from thence that honour of hers you imagine so reserved.
I will wage against your gold to it. My ring I hold dear as my finger. 'Tis part of it.
You are therein the wiser. If you buy lady's flesh at $1,000,000 a dram, you cannot preserve it from tainting. But I see you have some religion in you that you fear.
This is but a custom in your tongue. You bear a graver purpose, I hope.
I am the master of my speeches and would undergo what is spoken, I swear.
Will you? I shall but lend my diamond till your return. Let there be covenants drawn between us. My mistress exceeds in goodness the hugeness of your unworthy thinking. I dare you to this match. Here's my ring.
Gentlemen, I will have it no lay.
By the gods, it is one. If I bring you no sufficient testimony that I have enjoyed the dearest bodily part of your mistress, my 10,000 ducats are yours. So is your diamond, too. If I come off and leave her in such honor as you have trusted, she your jewel, this your jewel, and my gold are yours, provided I have your commendation for my more free entertainment.
I embrace these conditions. Let us have articles betwixt us. Only thus far you shall answer. If you make your voyage upon her and give me directly to understand you have prevailed, I am no further your enemy. She is not worth our debate. If she remain unseduced, you not making it appear otherwise, for your ill opinion in the assault you have made to her chastity, you shall answer me with your sword.
Your hand, a covenant. We will have these things set down by lawful counsel, and straightway to Britain, lest the bargain should catch cold and starve. I'll fetch my gold and have our 2 wagers recorded.
Agreed.
Will this hold, think you? Signor Iachimo will not from it. Pray you, let's follow them.
Whilst yet the dews on ground, gather those flowers. Make haste. Who has the note of them?
I, madam.
Dispatch. Now, Master Doctor, have you brought those drugs?
Please it, your highness. Aye. Here they are, madam. But I beseech your grace without offence, my conscience bids me ask, wherefore you have commanded of me these most poisonous compounds, which are the movers of a languishing death, but though slow, deadly.
I wonder, Doctor, thou asked me such a question. Have I not been thy pupil long? Hast thou not learned me how to make perfumes, distill, preserve? Yea, so that our great king himself doth woo me off for my confections. Having thus far proceeded, lest thou think'st me devilish, is not meet that I did amplify my judgment in other conclusions. I will try the forces of these thy compounds on such creatures as we count not worth the hanging, not non-human, to try the vigor of them, and apply aliments to their act, and by them gather their several virtues and effects.
Your highness shall from this practice but make hard your heart. Besides, the seeing these effects will be both noisome and infectious.
Do content thee. Here comes a flattering rascal. Upon him will I first work. He's for his master, an enemy to my son. Oh no, Pisanio. A doctor, your service for this time is ended. Take your own way.
I do suspect you, madam, but you shall do no harm.
Hark thee, a word.
I do not like her. She doth think she has strange lingering poisons. I do know her spirit, and will not trust one of her malice with a drug of such damned nature. Those she has will stupefy and dull the sense awhile, which first perchance she'll prove on cats and dogs, then afterward up higher. But there is no danger in what show of death it makes, more than the locking up the spirits a time, to be more fresh, reviving. She is fooled with a most false effect, and I the truer, so to be false with her.
No further service, doctor, until I send for thee.
I humbly take my leave.
Weep she still, sayest thou? Dost thou think in time she will not quench, and let instructions enter where folly now possesses? Do thou work. When thou shalt bring me word she loves my son, I'll tell thee on the instant thou art then as great as is thy master. Greater, for his fortunes all lie speechless, and his name is at last gasp. Return he cannot, nor continue where he is. To shift his being is to exchange one misery with another, and every day that comes to decay a day's work in him. What shalt thou expect? To be dependent on a thing that leans, who cannot be new built, nor has no friends so much as but to prop him. Thou takest up, thou knowst not what, but take it for thy labour. It is a thing I made, which hath the king 5 times redeemed from death. I do not know what is more cordial. Nay, I prithee, take it. It is an earnest of a father good that I mean to thee. Tell thy mistress how the case stands with her. Do it as from thyself. I'll move the king to any shape of thy preferment, such as thou desire. And then myself, I chiefly that set thee on to this desert, am bound to load thy merit richly. All my women, think on my words. A sly and constant knave, not to be shaped. The agent for his master, and the remembrancer of her to hold the handfast to her lord. I have given him that which, if he take, shall quite unpeople her of leisures for her sweet, and which she after, except she bend her humour, shall be assured to taste of too. So, well done, well done. The violets, cowslips, and the primroses bear to my closet. Fare thee well, Pisanio. Think on my words.
And shall do. But when to my good lord I prove untrue, I'll choke myself. There's all I'll do for you.
A father cruel and a stepdame false. A foolish suitor to a wedded lady that hath her husband banished. Oh, that husband, my supreme crown of grief, and those repeated vexations of it. Had I been thief-stolen, is my two brothers happy? But most miserable is the desire that's glorious. Blessed be those, how mean soe'er, that have their honest wills, which seasons comfort. Oh, who may this be?
Madam, a noble gentleman of Rome comes from my lord with letters.
Oh!
Change you, madam. The worthy Leonatus is in safety and greets your highness dearly.
Thanks, good sir. You are kindly welcome.
All of her that is out of door most rich. If she be furnished with a mind so rare, she is alone the Arabian bird, and I have lost the wager. Boldness be my friend. Arm me audacity from head to foot, or like the Parthian I shall flying fight, rather directly fly.
He is one of the noblest note, to whose kindnesses I am most infinitely tied. Reflect upon him accordingly as you value your trust. Leonatus. So far I read aloud, but even the very middle of my heart is warmed by the rest and takes it thankfully. You are as welcome, worthy sir, as I have words to bid you, and shall find it so in all that I can do.
Thanks, fairest lady. What? Are men mad? Hath nature given them eyes to see this vaulted arch, and the rich crop of sea and land, which can distinguish twixt the fiery orbs above and the twin stones upon the unnumbered beach? And can we not partition make, with spectacles so precious, twixt fair and foul?
What makes your admiration?
It cannot be of the eye. For apes and monkeys twixt two such she's would chatter this way, and contemn with mouths the other. Nor to the judgment. Idiots in this case of favor would be wisely definite. Nor to the appetite. Sluttery to such neat excellence opposed should make desire vomit emptiness, not so allured to feed.
What is the matter, Trow?
The cloyed will, that satiate yet unsatisfied desire, that tub both filled and running, ravening first the lamb longs after for the garbage.
What, dear sir, thus raps you? Are you well?
Thanks, madam, well. Beseech you, sir, desire my man's abode where I did leave him. He's strange and peevish.
I was going, sir, to give him welcome.
Continues well, my lord. His health, beseech you.
Well, madam.
Is he disposed to mirth? I hope he is.
Exceeding pleasant. None a stranger there so merry and so gamesome. He is called the Briton reveller.
When he was here, he did incline to sadness, and oft times not knowing why.
I never saw him sad. There is a Frenchman, his companion, one an eminent monsieur that it seems much loves a galleon girl at home. He furnaces the thick sighs from him, whilst the jolly Briton, your lord, I mean, laughs from his free lungs, cries, "Ho, ho, ho, can my sides hold?" To think that man, who knows by history, report, or his own proof what woman is, yea, what she cannot choose but must be, with his free hours languish for assured bondage?
Will my lord say so?
I met him with his eyes in flood with laughter. It is a recreation to be by and hear him mock the Frenchman. But heavens knows some men are much to blame.
Not he, I hope.
Not he. But yet, heaven's bounty towards him might be used more thankfully. In himself 'tis much, in you, which I account is beyond all talents, whilst I am bound to wonder, I am bound to pity too.
What do you pity, sir?
Two creatures heartily.
Am I one, sir? You look on me. What wreck discern you in me deserves your pity?
Lamentable! What to hide me from the radiant sun and solace in a dungeon by a snuff?
I pray you, sir, deliver with more openness your answers to my demands. Why do you pity me?
Let others do. I was about to say enjoy your law, but it is an office of the gods to venge it, not mine to speak on.
You do seem to know something of me, or what concerns me. I pray you, since doubting things go ill often hurts more than to be sure they do, discover to me what both you spur and stop.
Had I this cheek to bathe my lips upon, this hand
whose every touch would force the feeler's soul to the oath of loyalty. This object, which takes prisoner the wild motion of mine eye, fixing it only here. Should I, damn then, slaver with lips as common as stairs that mount the Capitol, join gripes with hands made hard with hourly falsehood, it were fit that all the plagues of hell should at one time encounter such revolt.
My lord, I fear, has forgot Britain.
And himself. Not I inclined to this intelligence pronounce the beggary of his change. But 'tis your graces that from my mutest conscience to my tongue charms this report.
Let me hear no more.
Oh, dearest soul, your cause doth strike my heart with pity that doth make me sick. A lady so fair and fastened to an empery would make the great king double, to be partnered with tomboys, hired with that self-exhibition which your own coffers yield, with diseased ventures that play with all infirmities for gold that rottenness can lend nature. Be revenged, or she that bore you was no queen, and you'll recoil from your great stock.
Revenged? How should I be revenged? If this be true, as I have such a heart that both mine ears must not in haste abuse. If it be true, how should I be revenged?
Should he make me live like Diana's priest, betwixt cold sheets, whilst he is vaulting variable ramps in your despite upon your purse? Revenge it. Cold sheets, whilst he is vaulting variable ramps in your despite upon your purse? Revenge it. I dedicate myself to your sweet pleasure, more noble than that runagate to your bed, and will continue fast to your affection, still close as sure.
But how, Pisanio?
Let me my service tender on your lips.
Away! I do condemn mine ears that have so long attended on thee. If thou wert honorable, thou wouldst have told this tale for virtue, not for such an end thou seekst, as base as strange. Thou wrong'st a gentleman who is as far from thy report as thou from honor, and solicitest here a lady who disdains thee and the devil alike. What ho, Pisanio? The king my father shall be made acquainted of thy assault, if he shall think it fit a saucy stranger in his court to mart as in a Romish stew and to expound his beastly mind to us. He hath a court he little cares for, and a daughter who he not respects at all. What ho, Pisanio?
Oh, happy Leonatus! I may say the credit that thy lady hath of thee deserves thy trust, and thy most perfect goodness her assured credit. Blessed live you long, a lady to the worthiest sir that ever country called his, and you his mistress only for the most worthy fit. Give me your pardon. I have spoke this to know if your affiance were deeply rooted, and shall make your lord that which he is new o'er. And he is one the truest mannered, such a holy witch that he enchants societies into him. Half all men's hearts are his.
You make amends.
He sits amongst men like a descended god. He hath a kind of honor sets him off, more than a mortal seeming. Be not angry, most mighty princess, that I have adventured to try your taking of a false report, which hath honored with confirmation your great judgment in the election of a sir so rare, which you know cannot err. The love I bear him made me to fan you thus, but the gods made you, unlike all others, shaftless. Pray your pardon.
All's well, sir. Take my power in the court for yours.
My humble thanks. I had almost forgot to entreat your grace within a small request, and yet of moment too, for it concerns your lord.
Oh.
Myself and other noble friends are partners in the business.
Pray, what is it?
Some other noble Romans and your lord, the best feather of our wing, have mingled sums to buy a present for the emperor, which I, a factor for the rest, have done in France. 'Tis plate of rare device, and jewels of rich and exquisite form. Their value's great, and I am something curious, being strange, to have them in safe stowage,
May it please you take them in protection?
Willingly, and pardon mine honor for their safety. Since my lord hath interest in them, I will keep them in my bedchamber.
They are in a trunk, attended by my men. I will make bold to send them to you. Only for this night. I must aboard tomorrow.
Oh, no, no.
Yes, I beseech, or I shall short my word by lengthening my return. From Gallia I crossed the seas on purpose and on promise to see your grace.
I thank you for your pains, but not away tomorrow.
Madam, I must. Therefore I shall beseech you, if you please to greet your lord with writing, do it tonight. I have outstood my time, which is material to the tender of our present.
I will write. Send your trunk to me. It shall safe be kept and truly yielded you. You're very welcome.
Was there ever man had such luck? When I kissed the jack upon an apt cast to be hid away, and I had £100 on it. Then a horse and jackanapes must take me up for swearing, as if I borrowed my oaths of him and might not spend them at my pleasure.
What got he by that? You have broke his pate with your bowl.
If his wit had been like him that broke it, it would have run all out.
When a gentleman's disposed to swear, not for any standers by to contain his oaths, huh?
Oh, no, my lord. Not to crop the ears of them.
Horse and dog, I give him satisfaction. Would he'd been one of my rank.
It smelt like a fool.
I'm not vexed more at anything in the earth. A pox on it. I'd rather not be so noble as I am. They dare not fight with me because of the queen, my mother. Every jack slave hath his belly full of fighting. I must go up and down like a cock that nobody can match.
You're a cock and capon, too. You crow cock with your comb on.
Say so?
It is not fit that your lordship should undertake every companion that you give offense to.
No, I know that. But it is fit I should commit offense to my inferiors.
It is fit for your lordship only.
So I say.
Did you hear of a stranger that's come to court tonight?
A stranger? I not know on't.
He's a strange fellow himself and knows it not.
There's an Italian come. 'Tis thought one of Leonatus' friends.
Leonatus, a banished rascal. He's another whatsoever he be. Who told you of this stranger?
One of your lordship's pages.
Is it fit I went to look on him? Is there no derogation in it?
Oh, you cannot derogate, my lord.
Not easily, I think.
You're a fool, granted. Therefore, your issues, being foolish, do not derogate.
I'll go see this Italian. What I've lost today at balls, I'll win tonight of him. Oh, come, go.
Oh, I'll attend your lordship. That such a crafty devil as is his mother should yield the world this ass. A woman that bears all down with her brain, and this her son cannot take 2 from 20 for his heart and leave 18. Alas, poor princess. O divine Imogen, what thou endurest betwixt a father by thy stepdam governed, a mother hourly coining plots, and a wooer more hateful than the foul expulsion is of thy dear husband, and that horrid act of the divorce he'd make. The heavens hold firm the walls of thy dear honor. Keep unshaked that temple, thy fair mind, that thou mayst stand to enjoy thy banished lord and this great land.
Who's there? My woman Helen, leisure, madam? What hour is it?
Almost midnight, madam. I have read 3 hours then. Mine eyes are weak. Fold down the leaf where I have left. To bed. Take not away the taper. Leave it burning. And if thou canst awake by 4 of the clock, I prithee call me. Sleep has seized me wholly. To your protection I commend me, gods. From fairies and the tempters of the night, guard me, beseech ye. Oh.
The crickets sing, and and man's o'erlabored sense repairs itself by rest. Our Tarquin thus did softly press the rushes ere he wakened the chastity he wounded. Cytherea, how bravely thou becomest thy bed, fresh lily, and whiter than the sheets, that I might touch. But kiss, one kiss, rubies unparagoned, how dearly they do it. 'Tis her breathing that perfumes the chamber thus. Flame of the taper bows toward her, and would underpeep those lids, to see the enclosed lights now canopied under these windows, white and azure, laced with blue of heaven's own tint. But my design, to note the chamber, I will write all down. Such and such pictures. There the window. Such the adornment of her bed. The arras, figures, such and such. And the contents of the story. But some natural notes about her body, above 10,000 meaner movables, would testify to enrich mine inventory. Sleep, thou ape of death, lie dull upon her. Be her sense but as a monument, thus in a chapel lying. Come off, as slippery as the Gordian knot was hard. 'Tis mine, and this will witness outwardly, as strongly as the conscience doth within to the madding of her lord. On her left breast a mole, sink-spotted, like to the crimson drops in the bottom of a cowslip. Here's a voucher stronger than ever law could make. This secret will force him think I picked the lock and ta'en the treasure of her honor. No more. To what end? Why should I write this down, that's riveted, screwed to my memory? I have enough. To the trunk again and shut the spring on. Swift, swift, you dragons of the night, that dawning may bear the raven's eye. I lodge in fear, though this a heavenly angel, hell is here. 1, 2, 3. Time.
Your lordship is the most patient man in loss. The most coldest that ever turned up ass. Ace!
Would make any man cold to lose.
But not every man patient after the noble temper of your lordship. You are most hot and furious when you win.
Winning would put any man into courage. If I could get this foolish Imogen, I should have gold enough. Almost morning, is not?
Day, my lord.
I would this music would come. I'm advised to give her music a mornings. They say it will penetrate. Come on, tune. You can penetrate her with your fingering, so. We'll try with tongue, too. If none will do, let her remain. I'll never give over. First, a wonderful sweet air with admirable rich words to it. And then let her consider.
Hark, hark, the lark at Hems gate sings, and Phoebus gens arise, his steeds to water at those springs unchained.
so. Get you gone. If this penetrate, I will consider your music the better. If not, it is a vice in our ears.
Here comes the king.
I'm glad I was up so late, for that's the reason I was up so early. You cannot choose to take this service I have done formerly. Good morrow to your majesty, to my gracious mother.
Attend you here the door of our stern daughter. Will she not forth?
But I've assailed her with music, but she vouchsafes no notice.
The exile of her minion is too new. She hath not yet forgot him. Some more time must wear the print of his remembrance out. Then she's yours.
You are most bound to the king, who lets go by no vantages that may prefer you to his daughter. Frame yourself to orderly solicits. Make denials increase your services. So seem as if you were inspired to do those duties which you tender to her, that you in all obey her, save when command your dismission ends, and therein you are senseless.
Senseless? Not so.
So like you, sir, ambassadors from Rome. The one is Caius Lucius.
A worthy fellow, albeit he comes on angry purpose now. But that's no fault of his. We must receive him according to the honor of his sender. Our dear son, when you have given good morrow to your mistress, attend the queen and us. We shall have need to employ you towards this Roman. Come, our queen.
If she be up, I will speak with her. If not, let her lie still and dream.
By leave, ho! I know how women are about her.
What if I do line one of their hair? 'Tis gold which buys admittance, often done. Yea, 'tis gold which makes the true man killed and saves the thief. Nay, sometimes hangs both thief and true man. What cannot it do and undo? I will make one of her women lawyer to me, for I yet not understand the case myself.
By your leave.
Who's there that knocks?
The gentleman.
No more?
Yes, and the gentlewoman's son.
That's more than some whose tailors are as dear as yours can just be bought among. What's your lordship's pleasure?
Your lady's person, is she ready?
Aye, to keep her chamber.
Oh, here's gold for you. Sell me your report.
Oh. How? My good name? Or to report of you what I shall think is good. The princess.
Good morrow, fairest sister.
Your sweet hand.
Good morrow, sir. You lay out too much pains for purchasing but trouble. The thanks I give is telling you that I am poor of thanks and scarce can spare them.
Still I swear I love you.
If you but said so, 'twere as deep with me. If you swear still, your recompense is still that I regard it not.
This is no answer.
But that you shall not say I yield being silent, I would not speak. I pray you spare me. Faith, I shall unfold equal discourtesy to your best kindness. One of your great knowing should learn being taught forbearance.
To leave you in your madness were my sin. I will not.
Fools cure not mad folks.
Do you call me fool?
As I am mad, I do. If you'll be patient, I'll be no more mad. That cures us both. I am much sorry, sir. You put me to forget a lady's manners by being so verbal, and learn now for all that I, which know my heart, do here pronounce by the very truth of it, I care not for you, and am so near the lack of charity to accuse myself. I hate you.
You sin against obedience, which you owe your father. For the contract which you pretend with that base wretch, it is no contract, none. though it be allowed in meaner parties, yet who than he more mean to knit their souls on, whom there's no more dependency but brats and beggary and self-figured not, yet you are curbed from that enlargement by the consequence of the crown, and must not soil a precious note of it with a base slave, a pantler. Not so eminent.
Profane fellow! Wert thou the son of Jupiter, and no more but what thou art besides, thou wert too base to be his groom. Thou wert dignified enough, even to the point of envy, to be styled the under-hangman of his kingdom, and hated for being preferred so well.
The Southpaw rot him!
He never can meet more mischance than come to be but named of thee. His meanest garment that ever hath but clipped his body is dearer in my respect than all the hairs above thee, were they all made such men. How now, Pisanio?
His garment. Now the devil
To
take...
Dorothy, my woman, hide thee presently.
His garment.
I am sprited with a fool. Affrighted and angered worse. Go, bid my woman search for a jewel that too casually hath left mine arm. It was thy master's. Shrew me if I would lose it for a revenue of any kings in Europe. I do think I saw it this morning. Confident I am last night 'twas on mine arm. I kissed it. Oh, I hope it be not gone to tell my lord I kiss off but he.
'Twill not be lost.
I hope so. Go and search.
You have abused me. His meanest garment.
I said so, sir. If you will make it an action, call witness to it.
I will inform your father.
Your mother, too. She's my good lady, and will conceive, I hope, but the worst of me. So I leave you, sir, to the worst of discontent.
I'll be revenged. His meanest garment. Where?
Very not, sir. I would I were so sure to win the king, as I am bold her honor will remain hers.
What means do you make to him?
Not any, but abide the change of time, quake in the present winter's state, and wish that warmer days would come. In these feared hopes I barely gratify your love. They failing, I must die much your debtor.
Your very goodness and your company o'erpays all I can do. By this, your king hath heard of great Augustus. Caius Lucius will do his commission truly, and I think he'll grant the tribute, send the arrearages, or look upon our Romans, whose remembrance is yet fresh in their grief.
I do believe, status though I am none, nor like to be, that this will prove a war. And you shall hear the legions now in Gallia, sooner landed in our not fearing Britain, than have tidings of any penny tribute paid. Our countrymen are men more ordered than when Julius Caesar smiled at their lack of skill, but found their courage worthy his frowning at. Their discipline, now mingled with their courages, will make known to their approvers they are people such that mend upon the world.
See, Iachimo.
Ah, the swiftest hearts have posted you by land, and winds of all the corners kissed your sails to make your vessel nimble.
Welcome, sir.
I hope the briefness of your answer made the speediness of your return.
Your lady is one of the fairest I have looked upon.
And therewithal the best. Or let her beauty look through a casement to allure false hearts, and be false with them.
Here are letters for you.
Oh, their tenor good, I trust.
'Tis very like.
Was Caius Lucius in the Britain court when you were there?
He was expected then, but not approached.
All is well yet. Sparkles this stone as it was wont, or is not too dull for your good wearing?
If I had lost it, I should have lost the worth of it in gold. I'll make a journey twice as far to enjoy a second night of such sweet shortness as was mine in Britain, for the ring is won.
The stone's too hard to come by.
Not a whit, your lady being so easy.
Make not, sir, your loss your sport. I hope you know that we must not continue friends.
Good, sir, we must if you keep covenant. Had I not brought the knowledge of your mistress home, I grant we were to question farther. But I now profess myself the winner of her honor, together with your ring, and not the wronger of her or you having proceeded, but by both your wills.
If you can make it apparent that you have tasted her in bed, my hand and ring is yours. If not, the foul opinion you had of her pure honor gains or loses your sword or mine, or masterless lead both to who shall find them.
Sir, my circumstances being so near the truth as I shall make them must first induce you to believe, whose strength I will confirm with oath, Which I doubt not you will give me leave to spare when you shall find you need it not.
Proceed.
First, her bedchamber, where I confess I slept not, but profess that was well worth watching. It was hanged with tapestries of silk and silver. The story, proud Cleopatra when she met her Roman, and Cydnus swelled above the banks, or for the press of boats or pride. A piece of work so bravely done, so rich, that it did strive in workmanship and value, which I wondered could be so rarely and exactly wrought, since the true life on
This
was...
is true. And this you might have heard of here, by me, or by some other.
More particulars must justify my knowledge.
Aye, so they must, or do your honor injury.
The chimney is south the chamber. The chimney piece, chaste Dian bathing. Never saw I figure so likely to report themselves. The cutter was as another nature, dumb. Outwent her motion and breath left out.
This is a thing which you might from relation likewise read, being as it is much spoke of.
The roof of the chamber with golden cherubims is fretted. Her andirons, I'd forgot them, were 2 winking cupids of silver, each on 1 foot standing, nicely depending on their brands.
This is her honor. Let it be granted you have seen all this, and praise be given to your remembrance. The description of what is in her chamber, nothing saves the wager you have laid.
Then, if you can, be pale. I beg but leave to air this jewel. See? And now 'tis up again. It must be married to your diamond. I'll keep them.
Jove, once more let me behold it. Is it that which I left with her?
Sir, I thank her that. She stripped it from her arm. I see her yet. Her pretty action did outsell her gift, and yet enriched it too. She gave it me and said she prized it once.
Maybe she plucked it off to send it me.
She writes so to you, doth she?
Oh, no, no, no! 'Tis true. Here, take this too. It is a basilisk up to mine eye. Kills me to look on it. Let there be no honor where there is beauty, truth where semblance, love where there's another man. The vows of women of no more bondage be to where they are made than they are to their virtue, which is nothing. Oh, above measure false.
Ah, have patience, sir, and take your ring again. It is not yet won. It may be probable she lost it, or who knows, if one of her women, being corrupted, has stolen it from her.
Very true. And so I hope he came by it. Back my ring. Render to me some corporal sign about her, more evident than this, for this was stolen.
By Jupiter, I had it from her arm.
Hark you. He swears. By Jupiter, he swears. 'Tis true. Nay, keep the ring. 'Tis true. I am sure she would not lose it. Her attendants are all sworn and honorable. They induced to steal it, and by a stranger. No, he hath enjoyed her. The cognizance of her incontinency is this. She hath bought the name of whore, thus dearly. There, take thy hire, and all the fiends of hell divide themselves between you.
Be patient, sir. This is not strong enough yet to be believed of one persuaded
Never
well of it.
talk on it. She hath been colted by him.
If you seek for further satisfying, under her breast, worthy the pressing, lies a mole, right proud of that most delicate lodging. By my life I kissed it, and it gave me present hunger to feed again, though full. Well, you do remember this stain upon her?
Aye, and it doth confirm another stain as big as hell can hold, were there no more but it.
Will you hear more?
Spare your arithmetic, never count the turns. Once and a million.
I'll be sworn.
No swearing. If you will swear you have not done it, you lie, and I will kill thee if thou dost deny thou hast made me cuckold.
I'll deny nothing.
Oh, that I had her here to tear her limb meal. I will go there and do it in the court before her father. I have been something.
Quite beside the government of patience. You have won. Let's follow him and pervert the present wrath he hath against himself.
With all my heart.
Is there no way for men to be, but women must be half-workers? We are all bastards. And that most venerable man which I did call my father was I know not where when I was stamped. Some coiner with his tools made me a counterfeit. Yet my mother seemed the Dian of that time. So doth my wife, the nonpareil of this. Oh, vengeance, vengeance! Me of my lawful pleasure she restrained and prayed me oft forbearance. that I thought her as chaste as unsunned snow. Oh, all the devils! This yellow Iachimo in an hour was not, or less. At first, perchance he spoke not, but like a full acorned boar, a German one, cried, oh, and mounted. Found no opposition, but what he looked for should oppose, and she should from encounter guard. Could I find out the woman's part in me? For there's no motion that tends to vice in man, but I affirm it is the woman's part. Be it lying, note it, the woman's, flattering hers, deceiving hers, lust and rank thoughts hers, hers, revenges hers, ambition, slanders, mutability, all faults that may be named, nay, that hell knows, why hers in part are all, but rather all. For even to vice they are not constant, but are changing still one vice but of a minute old, for one not half so old as that. I'll write against them, detest them, curse them. Yet 'tis greater skill in a true hate to pray they have their will. The very devils cannot plague them better.
Now say, what would Augustus Caesar with us?
When Julius Caesar, whose remembrance yet lives in men's eyes, and will to ears and tongues be theme and hearing ever, was in this Britain, and conquered it, Cymbeline, thine uncle, famous in Caesar's praises, no whit less than in his feats deserving it, for him in his succession granted Rome a tribute, yearly 3,000 pounds, which by thee lately is left untendered.
And to kill the marvel shall be so ever.
There be many Caesars, there's such another Julius. Britain's a world by itself. We will nothing pay for wearing our own nose.
That opportunity, which then they had to take from us, to presume we have a game. Remember, sir, my liege, the kings your ancestors, together with the natural bravery of your isle, which stands at Neptune's park, ribbed and paled in with rocks unscalable and roaring waters, with sands that will not bear your enemies' boats, but suck them up to the topmast. A kind of conquest Caesar made here, but made not here his brag of came and saw an overgame. With shame, the first that ever touched him, he was carried from off our coast twice beaten, and shipping. Poor ignorant bubbles, when our terrible seas like eggshells moved upon their surges, cracked us easily against our rocks. For joy whereof the famed Cymbeline, who was once at point to master Caesar's sword, made Lud's town with rejoicing fires bright, and Britain struck with courage.
Come, there's no more tribute. Our kingdom is stronger than it was at that time. As I said, there be no more such Caesars. Others of them may have crooked noses, but to owe such straight arms, not.
Son, let your mother in.
There be yet many among us can gripe as hard as Cymbeline. I do not say I am one, but I have a hand. Why tribute? Why should we pay tribute? Caesar can hide the sun from us with a blanket, or put the moon in his pocket. We'll pay him tribute for life. No, sir, no more tribute, pray now.
You must know, till the injurious Romans did extort this tribute from us, we were free. Caesar's ambition, which swelled so much, it did almost stretch the sides of the world, against all colour here did put the yoke upon us, which to shake off becomes a warlike people, whom we reckon ourselves to be.
We do. I am sorry, Cymbeline, that I am to pronounce Augustus Caesar, Caesar that hath more kings his servants than thyself domestic officers, thine enemy. Receive it from me then. War and confusion in Caesar's name pronounce I against thee. Look for fury not to be resisted. Thus defied, I thank thee for myself.
Thou art welcome, Caius. Thy Caesar knighted me. My youth I spent much under him. Of him I gathered honor. If she to seek of me again for force, behooves me keep at utterance. I am perfect with the Panodians and Dalmatians, for their liberties are now in arms. Precedent which not to read should show the Britons cold. So Caesar shall not find them.
Let proof speak. His Majesty bid you welcome. Make pastime with us a day or two or longer. If you seek us afterwards in other terms, you shall find us in our salt water girdle. If you beat us from it, it is yours. If you fall in the adventure, our crows shall fare the better for you. There's an end.
So, sir. I know your master's pleasure, and he mine. All that remain is welcome. How? Of adultery? Wherefore write you not what monsters are accuser? Leonatus, O master, what a strange infection is fallen into thy ear. What false Italian, as poisonous tongued as handed, hath prevailed on thy too ready hearing? Disloyal! No, she's punished for her truth. O Leonatus, thy mind to her is now as low as were thy fortunes. How? That I should murder her? Upon the love and truth and vows which I have made to thy command? I, her blood? If it be so to do good service, never let me be counted serviceable. Do it. The letter that I have sent her by her own command shall give the opportunity. Oh, damned paper! Black as the ink that's on me. Here she comes. I am ignorant in what I am commanded.
How now, Pisanio?
Madam, here is a letter from my lord.
Who? Thy lord? That is my lord, Leonatus. Oh, learned indeed were that astronomer that knew the stars as I, his characters. He'd lay the future open. Oh, you good gods, let what is here contain relish of love, of my lord's health, of his content. Oh, yet not that we two are asunder. Let that grieve him. Some griefs are medicinable. That is one of them, for it doth physic love. Good news, gods. O dearest of creatures, take notice that I am in Cambria at Milford Haven. Oh, what your own love will out of this advise you follow. So he wishes you all happiness that remains loyal to his vow. You're increasing in love, Leonatus Posthumus. Oh, for a horse with wings! Here's thou, Pisanio, he is at Milford Haven. Read, and tell me how far 'tis thither. Oh, if one of mean affairs may plot it in a week, why may not I glide thither in a day? Then true, Pisanio, who longest like me to see thy lord, who longest, oh, let me bait, but not like me, yet longest, but in a fainter kind. Oh, not like me, for mine's beyond, beyond. How far is it to the same blessed Milford? And by the way, tell me how Wales was made so happy as to inherit such a haven. But first of all, how may we steal from hence? And for the gap that we shall make in time from our hence going and our return to excuse. Oh, but first of all, how get hence? Why should excuse be born or e'er begot? We'll talk of that hereafter. Prithee speak, how many score of miles may we well ride twixt hour and hour?
1 score twixt sun and sun, madam's enough for you, and too much too.
Why, one that rode to his execution, man, could never go so slow. I have heard of riding wagers where horses have been nimbler than the sands that run in the clock's path. Oh, but this is foolery. Go, bid my woman feign a sickness. Say she'll home to her father, and provide me presently a riding suit no costlier than would fit a Franklin's house.
Madam, your best consider.
Oh, I see before me, man, nor here, nor what ensues, but have a fog in them that I cannot look through. Away, I prithee. Do as I bid thee. Oh, there's no more to say. Accessible is none but Milford way.
A goodly day not to keep house, and such whose roofs as low as ours. Stoop, boys. This gate instructs you how to adore the heavens, and bows you to a morning's holy office. The gates of monarchs are arched so high that giants may jet through and keep their impious turbans on without good morrow to the sun. Hail, thou fair heavens! We house in the rock, yet use thee not so hardly as prouder livers do.
Hail, heaven! Hail, heaven!
Hail, heaven! Now for our mountain sport. Up to yond hill. Your legs are young. I'll tread these flats. Consider, when you above perceive me like a crow, that it is place which lessens and sets off. Then may you revolve the tales I have told you of courts, of princes, of the tricks in war. There service is not service, so being done, but being so allowed. To apprehend thus draws us a profit from all things we see, and often to our comfort shall we find the sharded beetle in a safer hole than is the full-winged eagle. Oh, this life is richer than doing nothing for a bribe, nobler than attending for a check, prouder than rustling in unpaid-for silk. No life to ours.
Out of your proof you speak. We, poor unfledged, have never winged from view of the nest, know not what airs from home. Haply this life is best, if quiet life be best, sweeter to you that have a sharper known, well corresponding to your stiff age. But unto us it is a cell of ignorance, travelling a bed, a prison for a debtor that dares not stride a limit.
What should we speak of when we are old as you? When we shall hear the rain and wind beat dark December? How in this our pinching cave shall we discourse the freezing hours away? We have seen nothing. We are beastly, subtle as the fox for prey, like warlike as the wolf for what we eat. Our valor is to chase what flies. Our cage we make a choir, as doth the prisoned bird, and sing our bondage freely.
How you speak! Did you but know the city's usuries, and felt them knowingly? The art of the court is hard to leave his keep, whose top to climb is certain falling, or so slippery the fear's as bad as falling. The toil in the war, a pain that only seems to seek out danger in the name of fame and honor, which dies in the search, and hath as oft a slanderous epitaph as record of fair act. Nay, many times doth ill deserve by doing well. What's worse, must curtsy at the censure. Oh, boys, this story the world may read in me. My body's marked with Roman swords, and my report was once first with the best of note. Cymbeline loved me, and when a soldier was the theme, my name was not far off. Then was I as a tree whose boughs did bend with fruit. In one night, storm or robbery, call it what you will, shook down my mellow hangings, nay, my leaves, cleft me bare to weather.
Uncertain favor.
My fault was nothing, as I have told you oft, but that a pair of villains, whose false oaths prevailed before my perfect honor, swore to Cymbeline I was confederate with the Romans. So followed my banishment. These 16 years, this rock and these domains have been my world, where I have lived at honest freedom, paid more pious debts to heaven than at all the forend of my time. Oh, but up to the mountains, this is not hunter's language. He that strikes the venison first shall be lord of the feast. To him the other two shall minister. And we will fear no poison that attends in place of greater state. I'll meet you in the valleys. How hard it is to hide the sparks of nature. These boys know little they are sons to the king, nor Cymbeline dreams that they are alive. They think they are mine. Though trained up thus rudely,
in the cave wherein they bow, their thoughts do hit the roofs of palaces, and nature prompts them in simple and low things to prince it much beyond the trick of others. This Polydore, the heir to Cymbeline and Britain, whom the king his father called Guiderius, Jove, when on my 3-foot stool I sit and tell the warlike feats I have done, his spirits fly out into my story, say, thus my enemy fell, thus I set my foot on his neck. Even then the princely blood flows in his cheek, he sweats, strains his young nerves, and puts himself in posture that acts my words. The younger brother, Cadwal, once Arviragus, in his liker figure puts life into my speech, and shows much more his own conceiving. Oh, the game is roused. Oh, Cymbeline, heaven and my conscience knows thou did unjustly banish me, whereat at 3 and 2 years old I stole these babes, thinking to bar thee of succession, as thou reft me of my lands. Euryphile, thou wast their nurse. They took thee for their mother, and every day to honor to her grave. Myself, Belarius, that Imogen called, they take for natural father. The game is up!
Thou toldst me when we came from course the place was near at hand. Ne'er longed my mother so to see me first as I have now. Pisanio man, where is Posthumus? What is in thy mind that makes thee stare thus? Wherefore breaks that sigh from the inward of thee? One but painted thus would be interpreted a thing perplexed beyond self-explication. Put thyself into a havior of less fear, ere wildness vanquish my stager senses. What's the matter? Why tenderest thou that paper to me with a look untender? If it be summer news, smile to it before. If winterly, thou needst but keep that countenance still. My husband's hand! That drug-damned Italy hath outcraftied him, and he's at some hard point. Speak, man, thy tongue may take off some extremity which to read would be even mortal to me.
Please you, read. You shall find me, wretched man, a thing the most disdained of fortune.
Thy mistress, Pisanio, hath played the strumpet in my bed. The testimonies whereof lie bleeding in me. I speak not out of weak surmises, but from proof as strong as my grief, and as certain as I expect my revenge. That part thou, Pisanio, must act for me, if thy faith be not tainted with the breach of hers. Let thine own hands take away her life. I shall give thee opportunity at Milford Haven. She hath my letter for the purpose, where, if thou fear to strike, and to make me certain it is done, thou art the pander to her dishonor, and equally to me, disloyal.
What shall I need to draw my sword? The paper hath cut her throat already. No, 'tis slander, whose edge is sharper than the sword, whose breath rides on the posting winds, and doth belie all corners of the world. Kings, queens, and states, maids, matrons, nay, the secrets of the grave, this viperous slander enters. What cheer, madam?
False to his bed. What is it to be false? To lie and watch there and to think on him? To weep twixt clock and clock? If sleep charge nature, to break it with a fearful dream of him and cry myself awake? That's false to his bed, is it?
Alas, good lady.
Aye, false. Thy conscience witness. Iachimo, thou didst accuse him of incontinency. Thou then look'st like a villain. Now methinks thy favor's good enough. Some jay of Italy, whose mother was her painting, hath betrayed him. Poor I am stale. a garment out of fashion. And for I am richer than to hang by the walls, I must be ripped to pieces with
Good
me.
madam, hear me.
Come, fellow, be thou honest, do thou thy master's bidding. When thou seest him, a little witness my obedience. Look, I draw the sword myself. Take it, and hit the innocent mansion of my love, my heart. Fear not, 'tis empty of all things but grief. Thy master is not there, who was indeed the riches of it. Do his bidding, strike. Thou mayst be valiant in a better cause, but now thou seemst a coward.
Hence, vile instrument, thou shalt not damn my hand.
Why? I must die. And if I do not by thy hand, thou art no servant of thy master's. Against self-slaughter there is a prohibition so divine that cravens my weak hand. Come, here's my heart. Something's afore it. Soft, soft, we'll no defense. What is here? Scriptures of the loyal Leonatus, all turned to heresy. Away, away, corrupters of my faith! You shall no more be stomachers to my heart. Prithee, dispatch. The lamb entreats the butcher. Where's thy knife? Thou art too slow to do thy master's bidding when I desire it too.
Oh, gracious lady, since I received command to do this business, I have not slept one wink.
Do it, and to bed then.
I'll wake mine eyeballs blind first.
Wherefore then didst undertake it? Why hast thou gone so many miles for a pretense? Why hast thou gone so many miles to be unbent when thou hast ta'en thy stand, the elected deer before thee?
But to win time, to lose so bad employment, in the which I have considered of a course. Good lady, hear me with patience.
Talk thy tongue weary. Speak. I have heard I am a strumpet, and mine ear therein false struck can take no greater wound. But speak.
It cannot be but that my master is abused. Some villain, aye, and singular in his art, hath done you both this cursed injury.
Some Roman courtesan.
No, on my life. I'll give but notice you are dead, and send him some bloody sign of it, for 'tis commanded I should do so. You shall be missed at court, and that will well confirm it.
Why, good fellow, what shall I do the while? Where bide? How live? And in my life what comfort when I am dead to my husband?
If you'll back to the court...
No court! No father, nor no more ado with Cloten, whose love suit hath been as fearful to me as a siege.
If not at court, then not in Britain must you bide.
Where then? Hath Britain all the sun that shines? Day, night, are they not but in Britain? In the world's volume our Britain seems as of it, but not in it. In a great pool, a swan's nest. Prithee think, there's livers out of Britain.
I am most glad to think of other place. The ambassador, Lucius the Roman, comes to Milford Haven tomorrow. Now, if you would but disguise that which to appear must not yet be but by self-danger, you should tread a course haply near Posthumus, so nigh at least that though his actions were not visible, yet report should render him hourly to your ear as truly as he moved.
Oh, for such means! Through peril to my modesty, not death on it, I would adventure.
Well then, here's the point. You must forget to be a woman. Change command into obedience.
Nay, be brief. I see into thy end and am almost a man already.
First make yourself but like one. For thinking this, I have already fit, 'tis in my cloak bag, doublet, hat, hose, all that answer to them. For noble Lucius, present yourself, desire his service. Doubtless with joy he will embrace you, for he's honorable and doubling that most holy.
Thou art all the comfort the gods will diet me with. Prithee away. This attempt I'm soldier to, and will abide it with a prince's courage. Away, I prithee.
Well, madam, we must take a short farewell. My noble mistress, Here is a vial. I had it from the Queen. What's in it is precious. If you are sick, a dram of this will drive away distemper. To some shade, and fit you to your manhood. May the gods direct you to the best.
Amen. I thank thee.
Thus far, and so farewell. Thanks, royal sir. I am right sorry I must report ye my master's enemy.
Our subjects, sir, will not endure his yoke. And for ourselves to show less sovereignty than they must needs appear unkinglike.
So, sir. I desire of you a conduct overland to Milford Haven.
My lords, you are appointed for that office. The due of honor in no point omit.
Madam, all joy befall your grace.
And you. So farewell, noble Lucius.
Your hand, my lord?
Receive it friendly, but from this time forth I wear it as your enemy.
Sir, the event is yet to name the winner. Fare you well.
Leave not the worthy Lucius, good my lords, till he have crossed the 7. Happiness.
He goes hence frowning, but it honors us that we have given him cause.
'Tis all the better your valiant Britons have their wishes in it.
Lucius hath already wrote the emperor how it goes here. It fits us therefore ripely our chariots and our horsemen be in readiness. The powers that he already hath in Gallia will soon be drawn to head, from whence he means to move his war for Britain.
'Tis not sleepy business, but must be looked to speedily and strongly.
Our expectation that it would be thus hath made us forward. But, my gentle queen, where is our daughter? She hath not appeared before the Roman, nor to us hath tendered the duty of the day. She looks us like a thing more made of malice than of duty. We have noted it. Call her before us, for we have been too slight in sufferance.
Royal sir, since the exile of Posthumus, most retired hath her life been. The cure whereof, my lord, 'tis time must do. Beseech your majesty, forbear sharp speeches to her, for she's a lady so tender of rebukes that words are strokes death to her.
Now, where is she, sir? How can her contempt be answered?
So like you, sir, her chambers are all locked, and there's no answer that will be given to the loudest of noise we make.
My lord, when last I went to visit her, she prayed me to excuse her keeping close, whereto constrained by her infirmity, she should that duty leave unpaid to you, which daily she was bound to proffer. This she wished me to make known, but our great court made me to blame in memory.
Doors locked, not seen of late. Grant heavens that which I fear prove false.
Son, I say, follow the king.
That man of hers, Pisanio, her old servant, I've not seen these 2 days.
Go, look after. Pisanio, thou that standest so for Posthumus, he hath a drug of mine. I pray his absence proceed by swallowing that, for he believes it is a thing most precious. But for her, where is she gone? Haply despair hath seized her, or winged with fervour of her love, she's flown to her desired Posthumus. Gone she is to death or to dishonour, and my end can make good use of either. She being down, I have the placing of the British crown. How now, my son?
'Tis certain she is fled. Go in and comfort the king. He rages, none dare come about him.
All the better. May this night forestall him of the coming day.
This Imogen, I love and hate her, for that she's fair and royal, and hath all courtly parts more exquisite than lady's woman. From every one the best she hath. She of all compounded outsells them all. I love her therefore. But disdaining me, throwing favors on the low-rated Posthumus, slanders so her judgment that what's else rare in her is choked. And in that point I will conclude to hate her, nay, indeed be revenged on her. For when full shall... Who's here? What? Are you packing, sirrah? Come hither! Oh, you precious pander! Villain, where's thy lady? In a word, or else thou art straightway with the fiends!
Oh, good my lord!
Where's thy lady? Speak! Discover to me why she is. Close villain, I'll have this secret from thy heart, or rip thy heart to fight it. Is she with Posthumus, from whose so many weights of baseness cannot a dram of worth be drawn?
Alas, my lord, how can she be with him? When was she missed? He is in Rome.
Where is he? Come nearer. No further halting. Satisfy me how much become of her.
Oh, my all-worthy lord!
All-worthy villain, discover to me where thy mistress is at once, at the next word. No more of all-worthy lord. Speak, or thy silence on the instant is thy condemnation and thy death.
Sir, this paper is the history of my knowledge touching her flight.
Deceit. I will pursue her even to Augustus' throne.
Or this or perish. She's far enough. And what he learns by this may prove his travel, not her danger. Oh, I'll write to my lord she's dead. Oh, Imogen, safe mayst thou wander, safe return again.
Silva, is this letter true?
Sir, as I think.
It is Posthumus, and I know it. Silva, if thou wouldst not be a villain, but do me true service, that is, whatsoever villainy I bid thee do, to perform it truly and directly, I would think thee an honest man. Thou shouldst neither want my means for thy relief, nor my voice for thy preferment.
Well, my lord.
Wilt thou serve me? For since patiently and constantly thou hast stuck to the base fortunes of that beggar Posthumus, thou canst not in the course of gratitude but be a true and diligent follower of mine. Wilt thou serve me?
Sir, I will.
Give me thy hand. Here is my purse. Hast any of thy late master's garments in thy possession?
I have, sir, at my lodging the same suit he wore when he took leave of my lady and mistress.
The first service that thou dost me, fetch that suit hither. Let it be thy first service. Go.
I shall, my lord.
Meet thee at Milford Haven. Forgot to ask him one thing. I'll remember it anon. Even there, thou villain Posthumus, will I kill thee. I would these garments were come. She said upon a time, the bitterness of it I now belch from my heart, that she held the very garment of Posthumus in more respect than my noble and natural person, together with the adornment of my qualities. With that suit upon my back, will I ravish her. First kill him, and in her sight, here shall she see my valor, which will be a torment to her contempt. He on the ground, my speech of insultment ended on his dead body, and when my lust hath died, which as I say to vex her, I will execute in that suit which she hath so praised, to the court I'll knock her back, put her home again. She hath despised me rejoicingly, and I'll be merry in my revenge. Those!
Aye, good my lord.
How long is it since you went to Milford Haven?
She can scarce be there yet.
Bring this apparel to my chamber. That's the second thing that I have bid thee. The third is that thou wilt be mute to my desire. My revenge is now at Milford. Would I had wings to follow it. Come and be true.
Thou bidst me to my loss. For true to thee were to be false, which I will never be, to him that is most true. To Milford go, and find not her whom thou pursuest. Flow, flow, you heavenly blessings on her. This fool's speed be crossed with slowness. Labor be his meed.
I see a man's life is a tedious one. I have tired myself, and for 2 nights together have made the ground my bed. I should be sick, but that my resolution helps me. Milford, when from the mountain top Pisanio showed thee thou wast within a ken. Oh, Jove, I think foundations fly the wretched. Such I mean where they should be relieved. 2 beggars told me I could not miss my way. Will poor folk lie that have afflictions on them, knowing 'tis a punishment or trial? Yes, no wonder, when rich ones scarce tell true. Oh, my dear Lord, thou art one of the false ones. Now I think on thee, my hunger's gone, and even before I was at point to sink for food. What is this? Here's a path to it. Some savage hold. I will best not call. I dare not call. Yet famine ere clean it o'erthrow nature makes it valiant. Plenty and peace breeds cowards. Hardness ever of hardiness is mother.
Ho! Who's here? If anything that's civil, speak. If savage, take or lend. Ho!
No answer. Then I'll enter. Best draw my sword. And if mine enemy but fear the sword like me, he'll scarcely look on it. Such a foe. Good heavens!
You, Polydor, have proved best woodman and our master of the feast. Cadwal and I will play the cook and servant. 'Tis our match. The sweat of industry would try and die, but for the end it works too. Come, our stomachs will make what's homely savory. And weariness can snore upon the flint when resty sloth finds the down pillow hard. Now peace be here, poor house that keeps thyself.
I'm truly weary.
I am weak with toil, yet strong in appetite.
There's cold meat in the cave. We'll browse on that whilst what we've killed be cooked.
Stay! Come not in! But that it eats our victuals, I should think here were a fairy.
What's the matter, sir?
By Jupiter, an angel, or if not, an earthly paragon. Behold divineness, no elder than a boy.
Good masters, harm me not. Before I entered here, I called and thought to have begged or bought what I have took. Good troth, I have stolen not, nor would not, though I had found gold strew to the floor. Here's money for my meat. I should have left it on the board so soon as I had made my meal, and parted with prayers for the provider.
Money, youth.
All gold and silver rather turned to dirt, as 'tis no better reckoned, but of those who worship dirty gods.
I see you're angry. No, if you kill me for my fault, I should have died had I not made it.
Whither bound?
To Milford Haven.
What's thy name?
Fidelis, sir. I have a kinsman who is bound for Italy. He embarked at Milford, to whom, being going almost spent with hunger, I am fallen in this offence.
Prithee, fair youth, think us no churls, nor measure our good minds by this rude place we live in. Well encountered. 'Tis almost night. You shall have better cheer ere you depart, and thanks to stay and eat it. Boys, bid him welcome.
Were you a woman, youth, I should woo hard but be your groom. In honesty, I bid for you as I do buy.
I'll make it my comfort he is a man. I love him as my brother, and such a welcome as I'd give to him after long absence, such is yours. Most welcome. Be sprightly, for you fall amongst friends.
Amongst friends, if brothers. I would it had been so, that they had been my father's sons. Then had my prize been less, and so more equal ballasting to thee, Posthumus.
He rings at some distress.
Would I could free it.
Or I, whate'er it be, what pain it cost, what danger, gods.
Ha, boys!
Great men, that had a court no bigger than this cave, that did attend themselves, and had the virtue which their own conscience sealed them, laying by that nothing gift of differing multitudes, could not outpeer these twain. Pardon me, gods, I change my sex to be companion with them, since Leonatus false.
It shall be so. Come, boys, we'll go dress our hunt. Fair youth, come in. Discourse is heavy fasting. When we have supped, we'll mannerly demand thee of thy story, so far as thou wilt speak it.
Pray, draw near.
The night to the owl, and morn to the lark. Less work.
Thanks, sir.
I pray. Draw near.
Long live Caesar! Oh, this is the tenor of the Emperor's writ.
that since the common men are now in action against the Pannonians and Dalmatians, and that the legions now in Gallia are full weak to undertake our wars against the fallen off Britons, that we incite the gentry to this business. He creates Lucius proconsul, and to you the tribunes for this immediate levy commends his absolute commission. Long live Caesar!
Long live Caesar!
Is Lucius general of the forces? Aye. Remaining now in Gallia with those legions that I have spoke of, whereunto your levy must be suppliant. The words of your commission will tie you to the numbers and the time of their dispatch.
We will discharge our duty.
Long live Caesar!
I'm near to the place where they should meet. If Pisani have met, truly. How fit his garments serve me. Why should not his mistress, who was made by him that made the tailor, not be fit too? The rather, saving reverence of the word, for 'tis said a woman's fitness comes by fits. The lines of my body are as well drawn as his, no less young, more strong, not beneath him in fortunes, beyond him in the advantage of the time, above him in birth. Yet this imperseverant thing loves him in my despite. What mortality is! Posthumous, thy head, which now is growing on thy shoulders, within this hour shall be off. Thy mistress enforced, thy garments cut to pieces before her face, and all this done, spurn her home to her father. Who haply may be a little angry at my so rough usage. But my mother, having power over his testiness, shall turn all into my commendations. My horse is tied up safe, out soared into a sore purpose. Fortune put them into my hand. This is the very description of their meeting place. The fellow dare not deceive me.
You are not well. Remain here in the cave. We'll come to you after hunting.
Brother, stay here. Are we not brothers?
So man and man should be. But clay and clay differs in dignity, whose dust is both alike. I am very sick.
Go you to hunting. I'll abide with him.
So sick I am not. Yet I am not well. So please you leave me. Stick to your journal course. Your being by me cannot amend me. Society is no comfort to one not sociable. I am not very sick since I can reason of it. Pray you trust me here. I'll rob none but myself, and let me die stealing so poorly.
I love you. I have spoken. How much the quantity, the weight as much as I do love my father.
What? Oh, if it be sin to say so, sir, I yoke me and my good brother's fault. I know not why I love this youth, but I have heard you say, love's reasons without reason.
A noble strain, worthiness of nature, breed of greatness. Cowards father cowards, and base things sire base. I am not their father, yet who this should be doth miracle itself, loved before me. 'Tis the 9th hour of the morn.
Brother, farewell.
I wish ye sport.
You help. So please you, sir.
These are kind creatures. Gods, what lies I have heard. Our courtiers say all savage, but at court. Experience, oh, thou disproved report. I am sick still, heartsick. Pisanio, I'll now taste of thy drug.
Could not stir him. He said he was gentle but unfortunate, dishonestly afflicted but yet honest.
Thus did he answer me, yet said hereafter I might know more.
To the field, to the field. We'll leave you for this time. Go in and rest.
We'll not be long away.
Pray be not sick, for you must be our housewife.
Well or ill, I'm bound to you.
And shalt be ever. This youth, however distressed, appears he'd had good ancestors.
How angel-like he sings.
But his neat cookery. He cut our roots and characters, and sauced our broths as Juno had been sick, and he had dieted her.
Nobly, he yokes us smiling with a sigh.
as if the sigh was that it was, for not being such a smile. The smile, mocking the sigh, that it would fly from so divine a temple, to commix with winds that sailors wear.
I do note that grief and patience, rooted in him both, do mingle their spurs together.
Come away!
Oh, who's there? I cannot find those renegades. That fellow hath mocked me. I feel faint.
Those renegades? Means he not us? I partly know him. Just Cloten, the son of the Queen. I fear some ambush. I saw him not these many years, yet I'm sure 'tis he. We are held as outlaws, heads.
He is but one. You and my brothers search out what companies are near. Pray you away, let me alone with him.
Forth! What are you that fly with us? Some villain mountaineers, I've heard of such. What slave art thou?
Thing more slavish did I ne'er than answering a slave without a knock.
Thou art a robber, a lawbreaker, a villain. Yield thee, thief!
To who? To thee? What art thou? Have an iron arm as big as thine, a heart as big? Thy words, I grant, are bigger, for I wear not my dagger in my mouth. Say what thou art, why I should yield to thee.
Thou villain base, know'st me not by my clothes?
No, thy tailor, rascal, who is thy grandfather. He made these clothes, which it seems make thee.
Thou precious varlet, my tailor made them not.
Hence then, and thank the man that gave them thee. Thou'rt some fool, I'm loath to beat thee.
Thou injurious thief, hear but my name and tremble.
What's thy name?
Cloten, thou villain.
Cloten, thou double villain, be thy name. I cannot tremble at it. Or a toad or adder, spider, would move me sooner.
To thy further fear, nay, to thy mere confusion. Thou shalt know that I am son to the Queen.
I'm sorry for it, not seeming so worthy as thy birth.
Art not a fear?
Those I reverence, those I fear, the wise. At fools I laugh, not fear them.
Die the death! When I've slain thee with my proper hand, I'll after those that now went hence, and on the gates of Lud's town I'll set your heads. Yield, rustic mountaineer!
No companies abroad?
Not in the world. You did mistake him, sure.
I cannot tell. Long it is since I saw him. But time has nothing blurred those lines of favour which then he wore. The snatches in his voice and burst of speaking were as his. I'm absolute. 'Twas very Cloten.
In this place we left him. I wish my brother made good time with him. You say he is so fair.
But see, thy brother.
This Cloten was a fool. An empty purse. There was no money in it. Not Hercules could have knocked his brains out, for he had none. But I not doing thus, the fool had taken my head as I have his.
What hast thou done?
I am perfect, what? Cut off one Cloten's head, son to the Queen after his own report, who called me traitor, mountaineer, and swore with his own single hand he'd take us in, displace our heads where thank the gods they grow, and set them on Ludstown.
We are all undone.
Why, worthy father, what had we to lose but that he swore to take our lives? The law protects not us, then why should we be tender to let an arrogant piece of flesh threat us, play judge and executioner all himself, for we do fear the law. What companies discover you abroad?
No single soul can we set eye on. Yet in all safe reason he must have some attendance. Not frenzy, not absolute madness could so far have braved to bring him here alone. Although it may be heard at court that such as we cave here, hunt here our outlaws, and in time may make some stronger head, the which he hearing, as it is like him, might break out and swear he'd fetch us in. Then on good ground we fear, if we do fear this body hath a tail more perilous than the head.
Let ordinance come as the gods foresaith. Howsoe'er, my brother hath done well.
I had no mind to hunt today. The boy Fideli's sickness made my way long forth.
With his own sword, which he did wave against my throat, I've ta'en his head from him. I'll go and throw it in the creek behind our rock, and let it to the sea, to tell the fishes he's the Queen's son, Cloten. That's all I reck.
I fear 'twill be revenged. Wouldst, Polydore, thou hadst not done it, though valor becomes thee well enough.
Would I have done it, so the revenge alone pursued me. Polydore, I love thee brotherly, but envy much thou hast robbed me of this deed.
Well, 'tis done. We'll hunt no more today, nor search for danger when there's no profit. I prithee to our rock. You and Fidele play the cooks. I'll stay till hasty Polydore return. and bring him to dinner presently.
Poor sick Fideli. I willingly to him. To gain his colour, I let her perish of such Cloten's blood, and praise myself for charity.
O thou goddess, thou divine nature, how thyself thou blazonest in these two princely boys. They are as gentle as zephyrs, blowing below the violets, not wagging his sweet head. Yet as rough their royal blood and chafed, as is the rudest wind that by the top doth take the mountain pine, and make him stoop to the vale.
Where's my brother? I've sent Cloten's todpole down the stream, an embassy to his mother. His body is hostage for his return.
My ingenious instrument! Hark, Polydore, it sounds. But what occasion hath Cadwal now to give it motion?
Is he at home?
He went hence even now.
What does he mean? It's death of my dearest mother, it did not speak before. All solemn things should answer solemn accidents. The matter is Cadwal mad.
The bird is dead that we have made so much on. I had rather have skipped from 16 years of age to 60, to have turned my leaping time into a crutch than have seen this.
Thou sweetest, fairest lily, my brother wears thee not the one half so well as when thou grewest thyself.
Thou blessed thing! Jove knows what man thou mightst have made, but thou diest a most rare boy of melancholy. How found you him?
Stark, as you see, thus smiling, as some fly had tickled slumber, not as death's dart being laughed at. With fairest flowers, whilst summer lasts and I live here, Fideli, I'll sweeten thy sad grave. Thou shalt not lack the flower that's like thy face, pale primrose, nor the azured harebell like thy veins. No, nor the leaf of eglantine, whom not to slander, outsweetened not thy breath. The robin would with charitable bill bring thee all this, yea, and furred moss besides, when flowers are none, to winter ground thy cause.
Prithee, have done, and do not play in wench-like words with that which is so serious. Let us bury him, and not protract with admiration what is now due debt to the grave.
Say, where shall we lay him?
My good Eberle, our mother.
Be it so. And let us, Cadwal, though now our voices have got the mannish crack, sing him to the ground as once our
Nay,
mother.
Cadwal, I cannot sing. I'll weep and word it with thee. For notes of sorrow out of tune are worse than priests and thanes that lie.
We'll speak it then.
Great griefs I see, medicine the less, for Cloten is quite forgot. He was a queen's son, boys. Though he came our enemy, remember he was paid for that. Our foe was princely, and though you took his life as being our foe, yet bury him as a prince.
Pray you, fetch him hither.
We'll say our song the whilst. Brother, begin.
Fear no more the heat of the sun, for the furious winter's rages. Thou thy worldly task hast done, home art gone, and ta'en thy wages. Golden lads and girls all must, as chimney sweepers, come to dust.
Fear no more the frown of the great. Thou art past the tyrant's stroke. Care no more to clothe and eat. To thee the reed is as the oak. The sceptre, learning, physic must. All follow this, and come to dust.
Fear no more the lightning flash,
nor the all dreaded thunderstone.
Fear not slander, censure rash.
Thou hast finished joy and moan.
All lovers young, all lovers must consign to thee, and come to dust. No exercise or harm thee,
nor no witchcraft charm thee.
Ghost unlaid, forbear thee,
Nothing ill come near thee.
quiet consummation have, and renowned be thy grave. We have done our obsequies. Pray bring him hither.
Here's a few flowers. About midnight more. The herbs that have on them cold dew of the night are strewings fittest for graves. You were as flowers, now withered. Even so these herblets shall, which we upon you strew. Come on, away, apart upon our knees. The ground that gave them first has them again. Their pleasures here are past, so is their pain.
Yes, sir. To Milford Haven. Which is the way? By yon bush? I thank you. Pray, how far thither? Odds pitikins, can it be 6 miles yet? I have gone all night. Faith, I lie down and sleep. But soft. No bedfellow. Oh, gods and goddesses. These flowers are like the pleasures of the world. This bloody man, the care on it. I hope I dream. For so I thought I was a cave keeper and cooked to honest creatures. But 'tis not so. 'Twas but a bolt of nothing, shot at nothing, which the brain makes of fumes. Good faith, I tremble still with fear. But if there yet be left in heaven as small a drop of pity as a wren's eye, feared God's a part of it. The dream's here still. Even when I wake, it is without me as within me. Not imagined, felt. The garments of Posthumus. I know the shape of his leg. This is his hand, his foot, his thigh. But his face, oh, murder in heaven, how 'tis gone. Pisanio. Oh, curses, madded Hecuba gave the Greeks, and mine to boot be darted on thee. Thou conspired with that irregular devil Cloten, here cut off my lord. Damn Pisanio at with his forged letters. Damn Pisanio from this most bravest vessel of the world struck the main top. Pisanio, 'tis he and Cloten. Malice and lucre in them have laid this woe here. Oh, 'tis pregnant, pregnant. That drug he gave me, which he said was precious and cordial to me, have I not found it murderous to the senses? That confirms it home. This is Pisanio's deed and Cloten's. Oh, give color to my pale cheeks with thy blood, that we the horrider may seem to those which chance to find us. Oh, my lord, my lord.
To them, the legions garrisoned in Gallia, after your will, have crossed the sea, attending you here at Milford Haven with your ships. They are in readiness. But what from Rome? The Senate has stirred up the confiners and gentlemen of Italy, most willing spirits that promise noble service, and they come under the conduct of bold Jacobus, Sayana's brother.
When expect you then?
With the next benefit of the wind.
This forwardness makes our hopes fair. Command our present numbers be mustered. Bid the captains look to it.
Soft pull. What's this? The ruin speaks that sometime it was a worthy building. How, a page?
or dead or sleeping on him, but dead rather. For nature doth abhor to make his bed with the defunct, or sleep upon the dead. Let's see the boy's face.
He's alive, my lord.
He'll then instruct us of his body. Young one, inform us of thy fortunes, for it seems they crave to be demanded. Who is this thou makest thy bloody pillow? Or who was he that otherwise than noble nature did, hath altered that good picture? What's thy interest in this sad wreck? Or how came it? Who is it? What art thou?
I am nothing. Or if not, nothing to be were better. This was my master, a very valiant Briton and a good, that here by mountaineers lies slain. Alas, there is no more such masters. I may wander from east to occident, cry out for service, try many, all good, serve truly, never find such another master.
Lack, good youth, thou movest no less with thy complaining than thy master in bleeding. What's thy name?
Fidelis, sir.
Thou dost approve thyself the very same. Thy name well fits thy faith thy name. Wilt take thy chance with me? I will not say thou shalt be so well mastered, but be sure no less beloved. The Roman Emperor's letter, sent by a consul to me, shall not sooner than thine own worth prefer thee. Go with me.
I'll follow, sir. But first, and please the gods, I'll hide my master from the flies, as deep as these poor pickaxes can dig. And when with wild wood leaves and weeds I have strewed his grave, and on it set a century of prayers, such as I can twice o'er, I'll weep and sigh, and leaving so his service, follow you, so please you entertain me.
Aye, good youth, and rather father thee than master thee. My friends, the boy hath taught us manly duties. Let us find out the prettiest daisied plot we can, and make him with our pikes and partisans a grave. Boy, he shall be interred as soldiers can. Be cheerful. Wipe thine eyes. Some falls or means the happier to arise.
And bring me word how 'tis with her. A fever with the absence of her son, a madness of which her life's in danger. Heavens, how deeply you at once do touch me. Imogen, the great part of my comfort gone, my queen upon a desperate bed and in a time when fearful wars point at me. Her son gone, so needful for this present. Strikes me past the hope of comfort. But for thee, fellow, who needs must know of her departure, and dost seem so ignorant, we'll enforce it from thee by a sharp torture.
Ah, my life is yours. I humbly said it at your will. But for my mistress I nothing know where she remains, why gone, nor when she purposes return. Beseech your highness, hold me your loyal servant.
Good, my liege. The day that she was missing, he was here. I dare be bound he's true and shall perform all parts of his subjection loyally.
And for Cloten, there wants no diligence in seeking him, and it will no doubt be found.
The time is troublesome. We'll slip you for a season, but our suspicion yet depends.
So please your majesty, the Roman legions, all from Gallia drawn, are landed on your coast, with a supply of Roman gentlemen from the Senate sent.
Now for the counsel of my son and queen. I am amazed with matter.
Good, my liege. Your preparation can afford no less than what you hear of. Come more, for more you're ready. The want is but to put those powers in motion that long to move.
Thank you. Let's withdraw and meet the time as it seeks us. We fear not what can from Italy annoy us.
But we grieve at chances here. Away.
I heard no word from my master since I wrote him Imogen was slain. 'Tis strange. Nor hear I from my mistress, who did promise to yield me often tidings. Neither know I what is betid to Cloten, but remain perplexed in all. The heavens still must work. When I'm false, I am honest, not true to be true. These present wars shall find I love my country, even to the note of the king, or I'll fall in them. All other doubts, by time let them be cleared. Fortune brings in some boats that are not steered.
The noise is round about us.
Send us from it.
What pleasure, sir, find we in life, to lock it from action and adventure.
Nay, what hope have we in hiding us? This way the Romans must or for Britain slay us, or receive us for barbarous and unnatural revolts during their use and slay us after.
Sons, we'll hire to the mountains. There secure us. To the king's party there's no going. Newness of Cloten's death might drive us to Arenda, where we have lived, and so extort from us that which we have done, whose answer would be death, drawn on with torture.
This is, sir, a doubt in such a time, nothing becoming you, nor satisfying us.
It is not likely that when they hear the Roman horses neigh, behold their quartered fires, have both their eyes and ears so cloyed importantly as now, they'll waste their time upon our note to know from whence we are.
Oh, I am known of many in the army. Many years though Cloten then but young, you see not warring for my remembrance. And besides, the king has not deserved my service, nor your loves, that find in my exile the want of breeding, the certainty of this hard life. Hey, hopeless to have that courtesy your cradle promised, but to be still hot summer's tandlings and the shrieking slaves of winter.
Then be so, better to cease to be. Pray, sir, to the army. I and my brother are not known, and yourself so out of thought, and thereto so o'ergrown, cannot be questioned.
By this sun that shines, I'll thither. What thing is it that I never did see man die? Scarce ever looked on blood but that of coward hares, hot goats, and venison. Never bestrid a horse, save one that had a rider like myself. I am ashamed to look upon the holy sun, to have the benefit of his blessed beams remaining so long a poor unknown.
By heavens, I'll go. If you will bless me, sir, and give me leave, I'll take the better care. If not, the hazards, therefore, due, fall on my head at the hands of Romans.
So say I. Amen.
No reason I, since of your lives you hold so slight a valuation, should reserve my cracked one to more care. Have with you, lads. If you don't, bed too, boys, and there I'll lie. Lead, lead. The time seems long, their blood thinks scorn, till it fly out and show them princes born.
Yea, bloody cloth, I'll keep thee. But I wish thou shouldst be colored thus. You married ones, if each of you should take this course, how many must murder wives much better than themselves, for wrying but a little? Oh, Pisanio, every good servant does not all commands, no bond but to do just ones. Gods, if you should have ta'en vengeance on my faults, I never had lived to put on this. So had you saved the noble Imogen to repent, and struck me, wretch, more worth your vengeance. But alack, you snatch some hence for little faults. That's love, to have them fall no more. You some permit to second ills with ills, each elder worse. But Imogen is your own. Do your best wills, and make me blessed to obey. I am brought hither among the Italian gentry, and to fight against my lady's kingdom. 'Tis enough that, Britain, I have killed thy mistress. Peace, I'll give no wound to thee. Therefore, good heavens, hear patiently my purpose. I'll suit myself as does a Briton peasant, so I'll fight against the part I come with. So I'll die for thee, O Imogen, even for whom my life is every breath a death. And thus unknown, pitied nor hated, to the face of peril myself I dedicate. Let me make men no more valor in me than my garments show. To shame the guise of the world, I will begin the fashion less without and more within.
Takes off my manhood. I have belied a lady, the princess of this country. The air unrevengingly enfeebles me. Or could this Carl, a very drudge of nature, have subdued me in my profession? Knighthoods and honors, born as I wear mine, are titles but of scorn. If that thy gentry, Britain, go before this lout, as he exceeds our lords, the odds is that we scarce are men and you are gods.
Stand, stand! We have advantage of the ground. The gate lane is guarded. Nothing routs us but the villainy of our fears. Stand!
Away, boy, from the troops and save thyself. For friends kill friends, and the disorders such as war were hoodwinked.
'Tis their fresh supplies.
'Tis a day turned strangely. Betimes, let's reinforce or fly.
Who's that?
Pinched off from where they made the stand?
I did, though you, it seems, come from the flyers.
I did.
No blame be to you, sir. For all was lost, but that the heavens fought. The army broken, and but the backs of Britain seen, all flying through a straight lane. The enemy full-hearted, lolling the tongue with slaughterings. The straight paths, damned with dead men hurt behind.
Where was this lane?
Close by the battle, ditched and walled with turf, which gave advantage to an ancient soldier, an honest one, I warrant. Athwart the lane, he with 2 striplings, lads more like to run the country base than to commit such slaughter, made good the passage, cried to those that fled, stand, stand. These 3,000 confident, with this word stand, stand, accommodated by the place, gilded pale looks, that some turned coward, but by example gan to look the way that they did. Then began a stop in the chaser, a retire, a non, a rout, confusion thick.
This was strange chance. The narrow lane, an old man and 2 boys.
Will you rhyme upon it, invent it for a mockery? What? Here is one, 2 boys, an old man twice a boy, a lane. Preserve the Britons was the Romans' bane.
Nay, sir, be not angry.
Alack, to what end? Who dares not stand his foe, I'll be his friend. You have put me into rhyme.
Farewell, you're angry.
Still going. This is a lord. Today, how many would have given their honors to have saved their carcasses, took heel to do it, and yet died too? I, in mine own woe charmed, could not find death where I did hear him groan, nor feel him where he struck. Well, I will find him. No more of Britain. I will resume again the part I came in. Fight I will no more, but yield me to the veriest hind that shall once touch my shoulder. Great the slaughter is here made by the Roman. Great the answer be Britons must take. For me, my ransom's death. On either side I come to spend my breath. I'll end it by some means for Imogen.
Great Jupiter be praised, Lucius is taken. 'Tis said the old man and his sons were angels.
There was a 4th man in simple habit that gave the affront with them.
So 'tis reported, but none of them can be found. Stand, who's there?
A Roman, who had not now been drooping here if seconds had answered him.
Lay hands on him.
A dog! A leg of Rome shall not return to tell what crows have plucked them here.
He brags his service as if he were of note.
Take him to the king.
Enough, I am sorry. So children, temporal fathers do appease. Gods are more full of mercy. For Imogen's dear life, take mine. Oh, Imogen, I speak to thee in silence.
Come, sir. Are you ready for death?
Ready long ago.
Hanging is the word, sir. You'll be ready for that. You are well cooked. A heavy reckoning, but the comfort is we shall be called to no more payments, fear no more tavern bills, which are as often the sadness of parting as the procuring of mirth. You come in, faint for want of meat, and depart reeling with too much drink. Purse and brain both empty. Brain heavier for being too light, the purse too light for being drawn of heaviness. Of this contradiction you shall now be quit. Oh, the charity of a penny cord. You have no true debtor and creditor but it. Of what's past is and to come the discharge.
I am merrier to die than thou art to live.
Indeed, sir. He that sleeps feels not the toothache. But a man that were to sleep your sleep, and a hangman to help him to bed, I think he would change places with his officer. For look you, sir, you know not which way you shall go.
Oh, yes, indeed, do I, fellow.
Your death has eyes in his head, then. I've not seen him so pictured. You take upon yourself that which I'm sure you do not know, and how you shall speed in your journey's end, I think you'll never return to tell one.
I tell thee, fellow, there are none want eyes to direct them the way I am going.
What a mock is this? That a man should have the use of eyes to see the way of blindness.
Fellow, bring your prisoner to the king.
Thou bringst good news. I am called to be made free.
I'll be hanged then. Unless a man were to marry a gallows and beget young gibbets, I never saw one so prone. Yet on my conscience, there are various knaves desire to live, for all he be a Roman. And there be some of them, too, that die against their wills. I would we were all of one mind, and one mind good. Oh, there were a desolation of jailers and gallouses. I speak against my present profit, but my wish hath a preferment in't.
Stand by my side, you whom the gods have made preservers of my throne. Woe is my heart at the poor soldier that so richly fought, whose rag-shamed gilded arms cannot be found. He shall be happy that can find him, if our grace can make him so.
I never saw such noble fury in so poor a thing, such precious deeds in one that promised not, but beggary and poor looks.
No tidings of him?
He hath been searched among the dead and living, but no trace of him.
To my grief, I am the heir of his reward. 'Tis now the time to ask of whence you are. Report it.
Sir, in Cambria are we born, and gentlemen. Further to boast were neither true nor modest, unless I add, we are honest.
Bow your knees. Arise, my knights of the battle. I create you companions to our person, and will fit you with dignities becoming your estates. There's business in these faces. Why so sadly greet you our victory? You look like Romans and not of the court of Britain.
Hail, great king. To sour your happiness, I must report the Queen is dead.
Who worse than a physician would this report Pickhardt? But I consider by medicine life may be prolonged, yet death will seize the doctor too. How ended she?
With horror, madly dying like her life, which being cruel to the world, concluded most cruel to herself. What she confessed I will report, so please you. These her women can trip me if I err, who with wet cheeks were present when she finished.
Prithee, say.
First, she confessed she never loved you, only affected greatness got by you. Not you, married your royalty, was wife to your place, abhorred your person.
She alone knew this. And but she spoke it dying, I should not believe her lips in opening it. Proceed.
Your daughter, whom she bore in hand to love with such integrity, she did confess was as a scorpion to her sight, whose life, but that her flight prevented it, she had ta'en off by poison.
Oh, most delicate fiend! Who is't can read a woman? Is there more?
More, sir, and worse. She did confess she had for you a mortal mineral, which shall feed on life and lingering by inches waste you, in which time she purposed to o'ercome you with her show, and in time to work her son into the adoption of the crown. But failing of her end by his strange absence, grew shameless desperate, open in despite of heaven and men her purposes, repented the evil she hatched were not effected, so despairing died.
Heard you all this, her women?
We did, so please your highness.
Mine eyes were not in fault, for she was beautiful. Mine ears that heard her flattery, nor my heart that thought her like her seeming. It had been vicious to have mistrusted her. Yet, O my daughter, that it was folly in me, thou mayest say, and prove it in thy feeling. Heaven mend all. Thou comest not, Caius, now for tribute. That the Britons have raised out, with the loss of many a bold one, whose kinsmen have made suit that their good souls should be appeased with slaughter of you their captives, which ourselves have granted. So think of your estates.
Consider, sir, the chance of war. The day was yours by accident. Had it gone with us, we should not, when the blood was cool, have threatened our prisoners with the sword. Since the gods will have it thus, that nothing but our lives may be called ransom, let it come. Sufficeth that a Roman with a Roman's heart can suffer. Augustus lives to think on it, and so much for my peculiar care. This one thing only I will entreat. My boy, a Briton born, let him be ransomed. Never master had a page so kind, so duteous diligent, so true, so nurse-like. He hath done no Briton harm, though he hath served a Roman. Save him, sir, and spare no blood beside.
I've surely seen him. His favor is familiar to me. Boy, thou hast looked thyself into my grace, and art mine own. I know not why nor wherefore to say live, boy. Ne'er thank thy master. Live, and ask of Cymbeline what boon thou wilt, fitting my bounty and thy estate. I'll give it. Yea, though thou do demand a prisoner, the noblest ta'en.
I humbly thank your highness.
I do not bid thee beg my life, good lad, and yet I know thou wilt.
No. No, alack, there's other work in hand. I see a thing bitter to me as death. Your life, good master, must shuffle for itself.
What wouldst thou, boy? I love thee more and more. Think more and more what's best to us. Knowest him thou lookest on? Speak. Wilt have him live? Is he thy kin, thy friend?
He is a Roman, no more kin to me than I to your highness, who, being born your vassal, am something nearer.
Wherefore eyest him so?
I'll tell you, sir, in private, if you please to give me hearing.
Aye, with all my heart, and lend my best attention, too. What's thy name?
Fidele, sir.
Thou art my good youth, my page. I'll be thy master. Come, walk with me. Speak freely.
Is not this boy revived from death? One sand, another not more resembles that sweet rosy lad who died and was Fidele. What think you?
The same dead thing, alive.
Peace, peace, see further. Were it he, I'm sure he would have spoke to us.
But we saw him dead.
Be silent, see further.
Stand by my side. Make thy demand aloud. Sir, step you forth. Give answer to this boy, and do it freely. Or by our greatness, bitter torture shall winnow the truth from falsehood. On, speak to him.
My boon is that this gentleman may render of whom he had that ring.
What's that to him? The diamond upon your finger, say. How came it yours?
Thou torture me to leave unspoken. That which to be spoke would torture thee.
How? Me?
I am glad to be constrained to utter that which torments me to conceal. By villainy I got this ring. 'Twas Leonatus' jewel, whom thou didst banish, and which more may grieve thee as it doth me. A nobler sir ne'er lived twixt sky and ground. Wilt thou hear more, my lord?
All that belongs to this.
That paragon thy daughter, for whom my heart drops blood, and my full spirits quail to remember. Give me leave. I faint.
My daughter, what of her? Renew thy strength. I had rather thou shouldst live while nature will than die ere I hear more. Strive, man, and speak.
Upon a time, unhappy was the clock that struck the hour. It was in Rome, accursed the mansion where 'twas at a feast. Oh, would our viands had been poisoned, or at least those which I heaved to head. The good Posthumus, what should I say? He was too good to be where ill men were, and was the best of all amongst the rarest of good ones. Sitting sadly, hearing us praise our loves of Italy, for beauty that made barren the swelled boast of him that best could speak, for feature laming the shrine of Venus or straight-pied Minerva, postures beyond brief nature.
I stand on fire, come to the matter.
All too soon I shall, unless thou wouldst grieve quickly. This Posthumus, most like a noble lord in love, and one that had a royal lover, he began his mistress' picture, which by his tongue being made, and then a mind put in it, either our brags were cracked of kitchen trolls, or his description proved us unspeaking sots.
Nay, to the purpose.
Your daughter's chastity, there it begins. He spake of her as Dian had hot dreams, and she alone were cold. Whereat I, wretch, made scruple of his praise, and wagered with him pieces of gold against this which then he wore upon his honoured finger, to attain in suit the place of his bed, and win the ring by hers and mine adultery. He, true knight, no lesser of her honour confident than I did truly find her, stakes his ring, and would so, had it been a carbuncle of Phoebus' wheel, and might so safely had it been all the worth of his car. Away to Britain post I in this design. Well may you, sir, remember me at court, where I was taught of your chaste daughter the wide difference twixt amorous and villainous. Being thus quenched of hope, not longing, mine Italian brain gan in your duller Britain operate most vilely, for my vantage excellent. And to be brief, my practice so prevailed that I returned with similar proof enough to make the noble Leonatus mad by wounding his belief in her renown with tokens thus and thus, averring notes of chamber hangings, pictures, this her bracelet. Oh, cunning how I got it! Nay, some marks of secret on her person, that he could not but think her bond of chastity quite cracked, I having ta'en the forfeit. Whereupon, methinks I see him now.
Aye, so thou dost, Italian fiend! Thy mean, most credulous fool, egregious murderer, thief, anything that's due to all the villains past in being to come. Oh, give me cord or knife, or poison some upright justicer.
I am Posthumus that killed thy daughter. Villain-like I lie, that caused a lesser villain than myself, a sacrilegious thief, to do it. Oh, the temple of virtue was she, yea, and she herself. Spit and throw stones, cast mire upon me, set the dogs of the street to bay me. Every villain be called posthumously Leonatus, and be villainy less than 'twas. Oh, Imogen, my queen, my life, my wife. Oh, Imogen, Imogen, Imogen.
Peace, my lord. Here.
Shalt ever play of this, thou scornful page? There lie thy part.
Oh, gentlemen, help! Mine and your mistress. Oh, my lord Posthumus, you ne'er killed Imogen till now. Mine honoured lady, help! How fares my mistress?
Oh, get thee from my sight! Thou gavest me poison! Dangerous fellow, hence! Breathe not where princes are!
Tune of Imogen. Lady, the gods throw stones of sulphur on me if that vial I gave you was not fought by me a precious thing. I had it from the queen.
You majesty.
They poisoned me.
Oh, gods, I left out one thing which the queen confessed, which must have proved thee honest. If Bassanio have, said she, given his mistress that confection which I gave him for cordial, she is served as I would serve a rat.
What's this, Cornelius?
The queen, sir, very oft importuned me to temper poisons for her, still pretending the satisfaction of her knowledge only in killing creatures vile, as cats and dogs of no esteem. I, dreading that her purpose was of more danger, did compound for her a certain stuff, which being ta'en should cease the present powers of life, but in short time all offices of nature should again do their due functions. Have you ta'en of it?
Most like I did, for I was dead.
My boys, there was our error.
Is he sure, Fidele?
Why did you throw your wedded lady from you? Think you're upon a rock, and now throw me again.
Hang there like fruit, my soul, till the tree die.
How now, my flesh, my child? Makest thou me a dullard in this act? Wilt thou not speak to me?
Your blessing, sir.
My tears that fall prove holy water on thee. Imogen, thy mother's dead.
I am sorry for it, my lord.
She was not. And long of her it is that we meet here so strangely. But her son is gone, we know not how nor where, Lord.
Now fear is from me, I'll speak truth. Lord Cloten, upon my lady's missing, came to me with his sword drawn, foamed at the mouth, and swore if I discovered not which way she was gone, it was my instant death. By accident I had a feigned letter of my master's then in my pocket, which directed him to seek her in the mountains near to Milford. Away he posts with unchaste purpose, and with oath to violate my lady's honour.
Let me end the story. I slew him there.
Murder the gods forfend. I would not thy good deed should from my lips pluck a hard sentence. Prithee, valiant youth, deny it again.
I spoke it and I did it.
He was a prince!
A most incivil one. The wrongs he did me were nothing prince-like, for he did provoke me with language that would make me spurn the sea, if it could so roar to me. I cut off his head. I'm right glad he's not standing here to tell this tale of mine.
I am sorry for thee. By thine own tongue thou art condemned, and must endure our law. Thou art dead.
Stay, Sir King! This man is better than the man he slew, as well descended as thyself, and hath more of thee merited than a band of Clotens had ever scar for. Let his arms alone! He was not born for bondage.
My old soldier, wilt thou undo the worth thou art unpaid for by tasting of our wrath? How of descent as good as we?
In that he spake too far.
And thou shalt die for it?
We shall die all three, but I shall prove that two honors are as good as I have given out him. My sons, I must for my own part unfold a dangerous speech, though happily well for you.
Your dangers how?
Now good, his.
Have with it then, by leave. Thou hadst, great king, a subject who is called Belarius.
What of him?
He it is that hath assumed this age, indeed a banished man, I know not how a traitor.
Away with him, the whole world shall not save him.
Not too hot. First, pay me for the nursing of thy sons, then let it be confiscate all, so soon as I have received it.
Nursing of my sons?
I'm too blunt and saucy. Here's my need. Ere I arise, I'll prefer my sons, then spare not the old father. Mighty sir, these young gentlemen that call me father, and think they are my sons, are none of mine.
They are issue of your loins, my liege, blood of your begetting.
My issue?
So sure as you your fathers. I hold Morgan, and that Belarius, whom you sometime banished. Your pleasure was my sole offense, my punishment itself, and all my treason. These gentle princes, for such and so they are, these 16 years have I trained up. But, gracious sir, here are your sons again, and I must lose two of the sweetest companions in the world. The benediction of these covering heavens fall on their heads like dew, for they are worthy to inlay heaven with stars.
I lost my children. If these be they, I know not how to wish a pair of worthier sons.
Be pleased a while. This gentleman, whom I call Polydor, most mighty prince, is yours, his true Guiderius. This gentleman, Cadwal Arviragus, your younger princely son.
What? Am I the mother to the birth of three? Ne'er mother rejoiced deliverance more. Oh, Imogen, thou hast lost by this a kingdom.
No, my lord, I have got 2 worlds by it. Oh, my gentle brothers, have we thus met? Oh, never say hereafter, but I am truest speaker. You called me brother when I was but your sister. I, you brothers, when you were so indeed.
Did you e'er meet?
Aye, my good lord. And at first meeting, love.
Oh, rare instinct. When shall I hear all through? When? How lived you? And when came you to serve our Roman captive? How parted with your brothers? How first met them? These and your 3 motives in the battle with... I know not how much more should be demanded. But nor the time nor place will serve our long interrogatories. See, Posthumus anchors upon Imogen, and she, like harmless lightning, throws her eye on him, her master, me, her brothers, hitting each object with a joy. Let's quit this ground and smoke the temple with our sacrifices. Thou art my brother, so we'll hold thee ever.
You are my father too, and did relieve me to see this gracious season.
All o'erjoyed, save these in arms. Let them be joyful too, for they shall taste our comfort.
My good master, I will yet do you service.
Happy be you, forlorn soldier that so nobly fought. He would have well become this place, and graced the thankings of a king.
I am, sir, the soldier that did company these 3 in poor beseeming. 'Twas a fitment for the purpose I then followed. That I was he, speak, Iachimo. I had you down and might have made you finish.
I am down again. But now my heavy conscience sinks my knee as then your force did. Take that life, beseech you, which I so often owe. But your ring first. And here the bracelet of the truest princess that ever swore her faith.
Kneel not to me. The power that I have on you is to spare you, the malice toward you to forgive you. Live, and deal with others better.
Nobly doomed. We'll learn our freeness of a son-in-law. Pardons the word to all.
The fingers of the powers above do tune the harmony of this peace. Our princely eagle, the imperial Caesar, shall again unite his favor with the radiant Cymbeline, which shines here in the west.
Lord, we the gods, and let our crooked smokes climb to their nostrils from our blessed altars. Publish we this peace to all our subjects. Set we forward. Let a Roman and a British ensign wave friendly together. So through Ludstown march, and in the temple of great Jupiter, this peace we'll ratify, seal it with feasts. Set on there. Never was a war did cease, ere bloody hands were washed with such a peace.